So the consumer is pretty much deciding, how he or she wants to really take care of their beauty needs, their personal care needs. And there is, say, for example, there is a set of consumers who've decided that they want to go the natural way, the Ayurveda way, and pretty much sticking to, what are the basic tenets of Ayurveda. So I think from a consumer being constantly told, and dictated, that this is what you need to take care of this, if you want XYZ, it has now become the consumer who's pretty much deciding how he or she is going to be running the story, because they have become the main guys of the story. What has been one of a significant and consistent part of my journey has been that those roots have contributed certain mindset, certain manner in which one approaches various things. The whole aspect of Indian wear, then wedding wear, because weddings are the one of the most important occasions of one's life, and one wouldn't want to go wrong in understanding the needs and the desires there.
Hi everyone, this is Devleena, welcoming all of you once again to Icons Behind Brands, and we are back with another special guest with me today. Meet Miss Aradhika Mehta, who is a seasoned marketing maestro and founder, chief strategy officer at Brand Architects. With 2 decades of expertise, she has been the force behind fashion brands like Levi's, Nike, and Lenskart.com. Formerly the CMO of The Body Shop, her innovative strategies reshaped global perceptions. As the previous brand head at Taswa, in collaboration with Tarun Tahiliani, she redefined Indian men's wedding wear. Join us as we unravel her insights into a purpose driven marketing in today's ever evolving landscape. So, a warm welcome to you, Aradhika, on Icons Behind Brands.
Thank you, Devleena. It's a pleasure to be here, and quite looking forward to this.
Aradhika, the brands, I am really excited to talk about brands like Lenskart, Body Shop, a lot to talk. But I would love to know about your background and journey from your side. If you help us understand a bit.
Yeah, sure. When I look back, I think I look back a little longer than just these 2 decades. My childhood was spent mostly in Mirzapur. From there, as far as I recall, I was always a lot into watching people, uh, spinning stories.
Mhm.
My parents can vouch for that, and my passion for fashion, and all things beautiful developed as I went along, and I went on to graduate from NIFT, National
Okay.
Institute of Fashion Technology,
Okay.
Delhi. With that sort of a background, I obviously embarked into a journey where I worked with some very iconic fashion and lifestyle brands, Levi's, Nike, um, and Group Zanier, which is into kids wear. Um, and that was the initial part wherein I was more into product, the physical product, developing great products, merchandising, assortment planning. Um, and slowly I moved into brand and marketing.
Okay.
Um, and that journey then led me to the Body Shop, which was a different sector, the beauty and personal care sector, but a very enjoyable and very exciting category, which is and thereafter I joined Lenskart, and then Aditya Birla Group. So about a decade is in marketing, but I have moved from, say, product to
Okay.
customer services. I've headed customer services for the Body Shop for a fairly, a good 2 years, and had some amazing experiences, front end and back end. So I can just, if I were to really summarize my journey, I think the best part is that since I moved both, and worked in sort of the front end facing departments as well as
Right.
the back end.
Okay. So, in your career, over your career, you have seen the beauty and fashion industry like very closely and seen that has evolved in terms of marketing techniques as well and the consumer behavior, right? So, how do you adapt those changes?
So, yes, I think the beauty industry, the personal care space has evolved the most rapidly. I think it's the most dynamic, the most rapidly vibrant sort of a space, both by way of what has been the supply side, which is how tech has come in, how new science and advancements and learnings have happened. Also the way the consumers have changed their whole outlook to it, how they use their products, how they demand information, elicit various. So the consumer is pretty much deciding how he or she wants to really take care of their beauty needs, their personal care needs. And there is, say for example, there is a set of consumers who've decided that they want to go the natural way, the Ayurveda way, and pretty much sticking to what are the basic tenets of Ayurveda or natural skincare and body care. And there is this a clear distinction where there is this set of consumers who are very aware and informed of the kind of chemicals, which have the results, which will offer the results that they wish to achieve. Everybody is but very sure of what do they really want to do with themselves. So I think from a consumer being constantly told, and dictated, that this is what you need to take care of this, if you want XYZ, it has now become the consumer who's pretty much deciding how he or she is going to be running the story, because they have become the main guys of the story.
Hmm.
And the other advancement, if you see, the kind of procedures that are available from IVs, I don't know how
Yeah,
now become. I mean, back then, some celebrities doing it. Now it's available.
it's common.
There are
Yeah,
IV clinics, yes, and to beauty procedures, from fillers to everything.
yeah,
There is a cocktail that one has access to.
yeah.
So I think that space has just changed so drastically that it is even difficult to identify. It's difficult to even say that okay, this was what it was. The entire portfolio of the Body Shop products now is 100% vegan.
Oh, yeah,
Now, 4 years back, 5 years back, when they started on this journey, I'm sure a whole lot of competition would have not found it very, credible or very significant a thing to incorporate into products.
true.
But today, there is a whole set of consumers who clearly say that no, we're not going to be using a product which harms,
The
animals or
animals, yeah.
yeah, yes.
True. There is no argument that, the consumer preferences are changing so rapidly. And the best example, what you said, Body Shop. Who knew sometime few years back that, for marketing a fashion brand or to sell a fashion brand, you need to talk about, cruelty free or, vegan product because vegan is associated with the food. Now we are associating that with the fashion product, and that is becoming one very strong sellable point.
Yeah, if I may share an interesting aspect, which is
Mhm.
back in 1970s when Anita Roddick started the brand, the founder of the Body Shop.
Okay.
At that point of time, to think of how visionary and how what should I say, innovative her approach was, that back then there was this thing for cruelty free, thinking about vegetarian products. Veganism was not as big at that point of time, but the
Yeah.
whole storytelling, the community trade that she built, wherein every product,
Mm-hmm.
the ingredients are sourced from certain communities. The advantage of that entire thing was that while the products did what they did,
Mm-hmm.
that every single product contributed to the lives of various people. The impact was far more deeper and significant than just selling a product. Back in those days when, say, CSR was not such a big thing, or
Yeah.
giving back to the community. I think such visionary leaders, and later on, some of the things, some of the aspects that she has built the brand on are so solid. And if
Yes.
you see, this is the consistent story when they have been built on certain pillars, which are very strong, and remarkably long term and strategic in thinking.
True.
Those brands have stood the test of time, while things have changed drastically. I mean, social media did not exist back then, but the whole aspect of storytelling, even back then, what used to happen was that Anita recorded this series of videos of hers talking about each ingredient, talking about her journey. She was doing this blog, she wrote these books, because her belief was that, a brand becomes stronger and more powerful as the
Mhm.
teams behind it, the people who play behind it clearly know the stories, the
Mm.
remarkable stories, in the journey or the starting,
True.
etc.
True.
Because the stories bring people together,
True.
whether it is the people behind the brands, whether it is people who are consuming the brands, because
Mm-hmm.
stories are the most powerful thing. Today, you
True.
talk to any marketer, and
Mm-hmm.
storytelling will be something that everybody will say that storytelling
Everybody.
is absolutely critical, because without
Mm-hmm.
stories, there is nothing. It becomes
True.
transactional at the end of
True.
the day. All the brands, all iconic brands that you see, the story behind Nike, I'm not sure if your viewers or you, but the entire story of how, just that simple story of how that swoosh really came about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're aware, and but if I were to share, it's a student who designed that logo,
Okay.
that simple swoosh.
Okay.
And I think there was a paltry sum of money that was paid to her at that point of time. And much later, at a glittering ceremony, the girl who had designed that logo, I think she was a student, um, she was felicitated, and she was rewarded for it, because the swoosh happens to be the strongest logo of any brand even today, and I'm
Okay.
sure it'll stand the test of time for another century and
Yeah,
without
yeah, I'm sure.
diluting anything about the
I'm
brand.
sure.
I think it's a very significant point, Devlina, that to be authentic today is probably the easiest thing and the most difficult.
Most
There's a
difficult as
dichotomy
well.
there,
Yeah.
because if you don't have to fake it, I think it is probably very easy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, being authentic and simply putting yourself out there is probably the most difficult thing as well, because
Yeah.
more and more, you today you need to be expressing and exhibiting various behaviors and various
Right.
things. But I think the authenticity, and especially I think people who are coming from the smaller cities, they hold their authenticity and their roots very, very close. I happen to be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
From my initial childhood, like I said, in Mirzapur, and then later my college and schooling in, say, Lucknow, to my NIF days. And I think what is very what has been one of a significant and consistent part of my journey has been that those roots have contributed certain mindset, certain manner in which one approaches various
Mm-hmm.
things,
Yeah.
and that has really helped, whether professionally and or personally. Say for example, at Tasva, while one was working on a category which is absolutely different. Like I had
Yeah.
not done menswear, I had not done Indian wear. In fact, I had not done too many Indian brands as well until I had
Mm-hmm.
done lens. So it was a very different category, and to read and then to redefine the code, to understand first the nuances of how the consumer's shopping, or what the consumer's choices and preferences were, the whole aspect of Indian wear, then wedding wear, because weddings are the one of the most important occasions of one's life, and one wouldn't want to go wrong in understanding the needs and the desires there from their wedding wear.
Right.
I think what helped truly was, this whole aspect of understanding the consumer, because that one day, when you're getting married and you're wearing this product, it's not just about that one day. The way you are thinking your wedding, the way you want to be certain, comfortable, you want to be presenting yourself in a certain manner. It is a sum total of a lot of things. And they say that
तो कैसा लगा ये वीडियो? इसी इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशन को हमने आगे भी कंटिन्यू किया है एंड जिसका पार्ट 2 भी अवेलेबल है. इफ़ यू लाइक दिस, डोंट हेजिटेट टू लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब इट.